term NIL has become a trending topic in the media, but it wasn't until recently where it became a headliner in college athletics. And that is mainly due to how the NCAA in 2021 signed into legislation that athletes were finally able to profit off their name, image, and likeness, which is exactly what the three letters in NIL stand for: name, image, and likeness. Before 2021, athletes were not able to receive money in their pockets, and if they were, severe disciplinary action would have been put in place. But after the legislation was passed, athletes are now able to be compensated for their sponsorship deals, and they're now able to have sponsorship deals with brands, and they're able to become compensated for their appearances and commercial activities. Now, my opinions on the NIL are very skewed because I do think athletes should be getting paid because of all the revenue that they bring in for the schools themselves. Before the legislation was passed, athletes were showing off their talent and spectators were wanting to see their talent and buying tickets to see games of various sports, but all that money would go to the college themselves and none of the money would go to the athletes. So I do think athletes being paid is a great way for them to show off their talent and be compensated for showing off their talent. But I do think that NIL is very unregulated and unfair. It also creates a loophole for colleges to still not pay their athletes because athletes aren't being paid by the colleges. Who's paying the athletes are the brand deals that they're signing with. And I think that is really unregulated and unfair because we see athletes receiving millions of dollars and then other athletes on the same team receiving little to none. And I think that is very unfair, and that creates feelings of low self-worth and self-doubt, and the athletes are receiving no brand deals, even though two athletes receiving drastically different incomes are putting in the same effort. And I also think the NIL has greatly changed how athletes view sports themselves. We see athletes entering the transfer portal just because they aren't receiving enough money or the amount of money that they think they deserve, and I think that is wrong and is changing the integrity of sports because sports aren't meant to be valued based on how much money you're receiving. I think sports should be valued on your talent and not really money. But the athlete that really got me interested in NIL is Livy Dunn, and she's a former LSU gymnast. And some of the sponsorships that she has are working with Vuori, which is an athletic brand, Motorola, which is an electronic brand. She has made clothing lines for Hollister and Forever 21. She works with energy drink companies and also works for a platform called Passes, which is a platform where fans can interact with their favorite celebrities and athletes on a more intimate and personal level than they would on TikTok or Instagram. And Vuori was one of the first brand deals she got after the 2021 legislation was passed, and she is an ambassador for them and also a model. She is basically the face of them. You see her in a lot of ads and all over their Instagram, and you see the brand all over her Instagram. And one of the main benefits by NIL for Livy Dunn is obviously the income. When she was a college athlete, she was the highest paid female college athlete, and her income was never disclosed, but it was estimated to be around $4.1 million, which is a lot of money. And she was the fourth highest paid college athlete in the overall list when she was a college athlete. Another benefit for her by these different types of sponsorships and brand deals is really just getting her name out there and making herself marketable. The more brands she works with, the more higher class brands want to work with her. And because of her modeling experience for Vuori and other brand deals and sponsorships, she became a Sports Illustrated model, which is a high class achievement for athletes. And the benefits that she brought to LSU itself, which was where she was an athlete at, she increased viewership and spectator amount at gymnastics meets. In 2024, LSU gymnastics saw an all-time high in spectators. They reached around 12,500 fans at their meets, which was and is unheard of at gymnastics meets, and it mainly is because of Livy Dunn being on the team. People know her from social media and they wanted to see her doing the sport that she loved the most. And another benefit is that she created the Livy Fund Foundation, which is a foundation that helps female athletes at LSU get NIL brand deals and also raises money to support female athletes and the NIL deals that they are doing. So basically her mission is to help female athletes become as successful as she is. And the overall benefit that the sponsorships that she signs with are really getting the brand's name out there. Livy Dunn has millions of followers on all platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. She has millions of followers and fans, and when she is repping a brand like Vuori, which is a fairly new or untalked about athletic wear brand, she is forcing people to look at the content and want to wear what she's wearing because they love and adore her, so they want to support what she loves to wear and the brands that she loves. So the more brands she works with, the more she helps these brands increase their sales and their customers. But I do think the main ethical issue that she faces is gender discrepancies and the overall sexualization of female athletes. We see discrepancies in her pay. If her estimated amount was correct, which was $4.1 million, that is severely different than the highest paid male college athlete, which is around $6 million by Arch Manning. So even that is severely different in how much money the most paid athletes in college are paid. And I also think she's severely sexualized and objectified just because she is a woman. We've seen female athletes overall be objectified in sports. We see this in their uniforms or just how they're treated by fans or broadcasters, and she definitely falls victim to that because of athletic brands she works with. She's wearing sports bras or leggings or tight shorts, and a lot of people tend to think that she's using her body to receive money or to gain fame, while her male counterparts are also modeling in tight tops or athletic shorts. They aren't nearly as objectified as she is. So I do think the ethical issue that she faces is gender discrepancies and just the unfair treatment in women overall. And in conclusion, I do think that NIL has greatly changed sports and is a great way for athletes to receive money that they deserve, but I do think that it needs more regulations and that it needs more rules so it can be fair for everyone and it can truly be a beneficial way that athletes receive money. Thank you.